Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm not at Old Trafford or in the studio. I'm in my kitchen in pretty dreary Salford. It's not so sunny Salford today. Get involved in the comments in the chat and make sure you are hitting that subscribe button. We want to get to 800,000 subscribers by the start of next season. And with your support, we can get there. Obviously, the big talking point today, well, other than what happened to Donald Trump, is the Euros final. It is the big one in terms of England. I wouldn't say it's the big one for me because I think Manchester United games are always bigger, but let's not kid ourselves. All the talk, all the newspapers, all the coverage is about the Euros final. A huge game for Gareth Southgate and his three Lions. A huge game for a couple of Manchester United players in Luke Shaw and Kobbie Mainoo. I'm going to get to my favourite topic in Kobbie Mainoo very, very shortly. But first of all, I'm going to mention Luke Shaw. I don't know if you saw, there's a video doing the rounds on, I think it's BBC Sport, and it's just a load of different celebrities and sports people and presenters and stuff, actors and whatever, comedians, whoever, wishing England well, giving them, the three lines of sort of goodwill message. And there's a bit in it that features Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Now, I saw a screenshot of this morning, and I thought it was photoshopped. Because there's two bits of him. I think there's just a general message, and then there's another bit right at the end of the video where he says, "Luke, please don't pull your hamstring again." A little message to Luke Shaw there about not pulling his hamstring. And at first I thought, has he really said that, or is that just someone having a bit of a laugh? But no, he has said it. Yeah, I think we can all agree we don't want to see Luke Shaw get injured. Don't know whether he's going to start or not. It might be Kieran Trippier. If he does start or if he does feature, though, we just need him to stay fit. I think it's a weird one with Luke Shaw because I've said this on the channel a few times. I don't begrudge any player wanting to play for his country. It is a short career. Tournaments only come around there's a tournament every 2 years, but the Euros, for example, is every 4 years, the World Cup every 4 years. Your opportunities may be very, very limited. You may not get another chance. Luke Shaw may not get another chance at a major championship or a major competition with England. So don't blame him for wanting to go to the Euros. He's 29 years old. This could be his last opportunity. Now, people will be very critical and saying he shouldn't be going. He's hardly played this season. I think his last 90 minutes for Manchester United was in February. Why is he risking himself for the Euros? But I'll say the same thing about Luke Shaw as I said about Marcus Rashford in the last Euros, where he postponed getting his operation. If a player wants to play for his country, I don't have a problem with that. They should be allowed to do that. And if he feels he's fit enough, and the manager feels he's fit enough to play some part, which he has done, then so be it. I just hope for his sake he doesn't get injured, because if he does, especially with Sir Jim Ratcliffe's words ringing in his ears, I think Manchester United are going to be very, very upset about that and look to replace him. And I think we need another left-back anyway, probably as backup after what happened last season with Tyrone Malacia and Luke Shaw missing. Well, Malacia missed the entire season, didn't he? And Luke Shaw missed about half of it. I think we need a left-back anyway. But if Luke Shaw gets himself injured today, it's a big if, isn't it? Let's have it right. Then I think that's just sort of, underlined the fact that we definitely need another left back. Let's talk about Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo, loads of stories doing the rounds. Kobbie Mainoo's been like the sort of, I was going to say, right, he's been a bit of a surprise. And it sounds like, well, has he really been a surprise? But I think everyone, or even people that know him quite well, have been surprised just how quickly he has reached the levels he has reached. I think everyone who's sort of trained him and worked with him knew he was a special talent. Anyone who's watched him knew he's a special talent. We were talking about him on the Academy Review a couple of years ago. Dave Pritt was saying, look, there's Garnacho, there's Charlie McNeil, there's all these other players who are scoring goals and are sort of being earmarked as future stars. Kobbie Mainoo's the guy that makes that team tick. Kobbie Mainoo's the one who could get into the first team and really do something special. He's the one to watch, and he was spot on. Nick Cox, who's Manchester United's head of academy, has admitted Kobbie Mainoo's progress this season has caught everyone at Old Trafford by surprise. That's a story that's doing the rounds on BBC Sport. He said he's moved much faster than we thought. This season, he's made a Premier League debut, scored a first Premier League goal, first England call-up, England debut, first England competitive game, first England tournament match, man of the match appearances, Champions League appearances. It hasn't been an easy journey, though. They never are. Everyone who watches him play on Sunday might think it must have been plain sailing, but there have been injuries, dips in form, times when he's had to spend time away for his family or change schools. He had to move away from his mates, which is a brave thing to do. When he was 14 or 15, he was not sure what his best position was. Sometimes there's this false perception superstars get there easily. They don't. He also goes on to say he's not played 50 games for the first team yet. It's amazing, isn't it, how quickly Kobbie Mainoo has reached the heights he's reached when he only made his full Premier League debut in November. It won't always be smooth, though, and he'll have times ahead of him where it's difficult or doesn't move at the pace he is now. It's important people remain balanced and know he's got loads to go. It is important that people remain balanced, but I just can't help myself, and I'm struggling to remain balanced. Anyone who follows me on social media or watches this channel knows I've been anything but balanced when it comes to Kobbie Mainoo. I just think the lad's amazing. I can't wait to see him back at Old Trafford next season playing for Manchester United. And I hope, I've said this a few times, I'm not trying to be all top red. I'm not a massive England fan, but I do want England to win. And Kobbie Mainoo has made me want England to win even more. I just basically love the kid. I hope he lifts the trophy at the end of tonight's game against Spain. People point out that Rodri is this sort of impenetrable fortress and he always wins and his record is phenomenal and he's been on this mad sort of winning streak or not getting beat, undefeated streak, I should say, that he had with Manchester City. Let's not forget, though, he lost that. Well, he lost it against Real Madrid for starters, but no one seems to count that because it was penalties. But he lost it in the FA Cup final playing against Kobbie Mainoo, who walked away with the Man of the Match award. So it's not written in stone that Rodri is going to win and he's going to keep his record for Spain going. I know Spain have got this amazing record, whether it's club or country, of winning, I think, the last 22 finals they've been in, whether that's a Spanish national team or a club. They've always won the last 22 finals. Ridiculous. And United have seen that a few times. And we've been on the receiving end of it, haven't we, against Spanish teams? We have to go way back to 1991, I think, is the last time we beat a Spanish team in the in Europe in a final. Obviously, the Cup Winners' Cup, the most important trophy you can win. But Barcelona beat us twice, didn't they, in the Champions League? Villarreal beat us in the Europa League. They've got this phenomenal record, Spanish teams, in major competitions, in finals. Just a couple of other stories quickly. The Evening News says Toney interest still alive. Manchester United remain interested in Brentford and England striker Ivan Toney, according to reports. Despite the imminent arrival of Joshua Zirkzee, United is said to remain keen on Toney. He has just 1 year remaining on his current deal, and talks over a new contract have not taken place. There's also a little bit on Victor Lindelof. It says, as well as the imminent exit of Willie Kambwala, he's obviously moved on. It says United are planning to sell Victor Lindelof this summer. The centre-back's deal at Manchester United, Old Trafford, expires next summer, and this window represents the club with a final chance to cash in on his services. Fenerbahce were linked with him earlier in the window. So, yeah, I mean, I said this a few times. I think he should move on, Victor Lindelof. I do. I think that he's been a decent player for Manchester United over the years, but I don't think he's good enough, if I'm being brutally honest. And I think if you have to move someone on, a lot of people saying get rid of Harry Maguire. I think Harry Maguire can still do a job, but I don't know if Victor Lindelof can. I honestly don't think he can. I think that I just don't think he's up to it. And I think it'd be better for all concerned if we move him on. Whether he goes to Fenerbahce or not, we'll have to wait and see. But you know, for me, he's not the levels you need. And I don't think if you're relying on Victor Lindelof, you saw it last season. He wasn't great. It wasn't always his fault. He's played out of position sometimes on the left back, and he's not a left back. But yeah, I just think we need to move Victor Lindelof on. Also, I should mention it as well. I mentioned there, Willie Kambwala is moving on to Villarreal. Wish him all the best. Kind of makes sense to me, this deal. I think is it 10 million or something like that? I think it's around 10 million. Oh, sorry. United will receive 5.5 million euros, add-on stake in the fee up to 11.5 million euros. United have got a buyback option as well. I mean, he did well, didn't he, Kambwala, when he first came in. Then he had a bit of a stinker, I think it was at Bournemouth. This kind of makes sense. He's not signed a new deal as well, so I think there's only a year left on his contract. Wish him well, and hopefully if he smashes it at Villarreal, we can get him back. And hopefully we don't do what we did with something like Pogba, where we end up spending loads of money on a player that we've let go for pittance. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Big game later on today, the Kobbie Mainoo final. Make sure you are hitting like, share, and subscribe. We are going to be back with a watch longer as well. I think we go live an hour before kickoff, so come and join us for that one. I'm Jay Motty. This has been the Paper Talk /Gazette because it's a Sunday.